Good morning, Dr. Mosby. I'm Carlton Wourman, Chief Warrant Officer in the United States Navy. And in honor of Veterans Day, which is November 11th, and my father's birthday, Cornell Wourman, November 11th, I decided to take you up on your offer to submit a video on my personal best leadership experience. I'm coming to you from my man cave in my office down in my basement. And as I pondered the many and the countless leadership experiences that I have had the opportunity to experience and grow from in my 28 years of naval service, nothing remotely comes close to the experience I'm about to share with you. My father, Cornell Wourman, was 68 when he suddenly passed in August 1st of 2015. And I say suddenly because we did not have any clue that he was sick. In April of 2015, my family attended my daughter's undergrad ceremony, and my father was there. He complained of some back pains, but he had always had back pains throughout his life. So we didn't think much of it. And we had a grand time, enjoyed each other. And I left and came back to Maryland and went to work. In May, got a call that they were rushing my father. They were taking him to emergency because he felt funny. Long story short, it was diagnosed as pancreatic cancer, stage 4. Now, I come from a very large family in inner city Detroit. My father had 11 brothers and sisters, and my mother had 13 brothers and sisters, and they all lived relatively in a 10 square block mile, and all of us I have probably 50 to 60 first cousins in the same area. So we grew up with around family. Didn't have a bunch of friends, it was family. Cousins, all the barbecues, all the fellowships, everything people thought we was having a party was just family. Now let me tell you about my father. He loved to barbecue. He had a saying, "Ain't nothing but a party, y'all." He fed countless people in the community. They called his house the barbecue house. Now I have 4 brothers and sisters. I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. I am the oldest boy, but I have two older sisters. One of them have a alcohol dependency, so she's very ill and really not very helpful in dealing with some issues. And I share that because that is critical in this leadership experience that I'm about to share with you. Now, me and my father was very, very close. Now, he had a very close relationship with all of his children, but he had a unique bond with his 4 sons, especially me as the oldest boy. And I don't think he loved me more. It's just the oldest boy. As the oldest boy, we just had a very unique bond and a unique way of being honest with each other, that he could talk to me. Because throughout his career, he worked 35 years at Ford Motor Company. He had countless alcohol and drug addictions that he was battling. And yes, he overcame them, and he took care of his children. But these were some of the demons he dealt with, and had some impacts on our family, but we overcame them. To see all 4 boys go to college and live successful lives, and my oldest sister is doing very well, with the exception of the one sister I have that's dependent on alcohol. So let me fast forward. As his health deteriorated, I was flying back and forth to Michigan to see him. So we had him home, and suddenly he had to go back to the hospital, and they told us to make preparations, that he only had weeks to live. Now, keep in mind, this is all very shocking to us. We believe my father knew more than we knew, and he just didn't want us to worry, because the amount of lesions on his liver, on his pancreas, they say he had to know, because he never missed a doctor's visit. But that's a whole nother story. The issue that I want to discuss in my personal leadership surrounding my brothers and sisters before his death and after. Now, before he died, on one of my last visits to Michigan, as I was going back every week flying to see him, he called me in and he said, "Hey, Everything is in your name. All of the insurance money. Nothing is in your mother's name. Do with it what you want. I want you to just take care of your mom, because now my mom, they've been married 49 years. She was strictly a home mom. She cooked for everybody, kept the house, but she touched no bills. Couldn't ride a bike, can't swim. She was just a Southern Alabama girl that just took care of her kids and her family and just would cook for the neighborhood. That's what she did. So immediately we were all worried what's going to happen to mom. So my dad called me, and again we were in the hospital. I said, Dad, I got to go back because Jayla, my daughter, I have to move her into grad school, but I'll be back immediately. But I was conflicted on whether I should leave him. But he said, no, go get my grandbaby situated and you get back here, but get me the hell out this hospital. I want to be home. So I made arrangements with hospice to get him home, and I said, Dad, I'll be right back. Sadly, as I was in Maryland, the day I was scheduled to return to Maryland, he passed. Immediately, natural instincts just kicked in. Now, all of my brothers and sisters have always looked up to me, even though I'm not the oldest child. As the oldest boy, it just seemed like that was just an inherited leadership or expectation of me to take charge of everything. I don't know, where it come from, but they always looked at me. But I think that this time I didn't feel it was appropriate. Yes, I stepped up, and my mom directed everyone to me. Your brother's going to make all the decisions. Your brother's going to do this. Your brother's going to do this. But he was all of our father. And I didn't think it was appropriate for me to act in a dictatorship type role. So here's what I did. Immediately when I got word that he died, my fraternity brothers came and they expedited loading up my daughter's stuff, and I got on the road to Michigan. While on the road, I had all my brothers in a group text, contacted all of them immediately, and I said, hey, we're going to do this together. Mom wants me to do it, but he's all of our father. I need all of your assistance. Many hands make light work. So, tell me what you want to do. Here's what we need now. We need someone to handle the program. We need someone to work with the church, someone to handle the procedures at the funeral home, etc., etc., etc. And I would tell you, my brothers and sisters stepped out of their comfort zone. And by empowering them and trusting them and showing that I had confidence that, hey, you guys will get this done. Just tell me what you want done. Don't worry about the cost. Get it done. Make sure it brings mama and daddy. It is up to the standard that they deserve, and especially dad. And I would tell you, I'd never seen my brothers and sisters respond in such a way in my life. First, my sister was not very good at. She's not a very technical person. She's more of an inner city young lady, but she took the program, and I tell you, it was one of the. She got with an editor, and she came up with a great idea. And every time they came to me for answers, I put it back on them and say, hey, what do you want to do? Is this to your standards? Do you think this is befitting our father? Yes, let's go with it. Once we got my mother okay, it got to the point where my mother didn't have to do nothing but pick out a dress and get her hair did. One brother who stepped out his comfort zone said, Daddy wasn't much of a churchgoer. He loved feeding people. He loved cooking for people. If he was alive right now, he'd be in front of the house barbecuing. So why don't we, in honor of Dad, instead of a repast at the church after the funeral home, we feed the community. Go for it, I told him. He just did phenomenal things. He ordered 2 cathedral tents, chairs, tables, DJ, porta potties. We end up feeding close to 600 people that day, to where the police almost blocked off 3 or 4 square blocks because they knew my father, they knew our family. It was just so many people wanted to come and just celebrate with us. And long story short, the leadership I think that I want to talk about is how I was able to put my needs aside and empower my brothers and sisters, encourage them, motivate them, make them a part of the process, include them so that they can grieve also and know that they are also bringing honor to their Father as we try to send him off in the way befitting to him. And finally, it was just a glorious occasion. And my brother came up with an idea. Now, I told you my father had a saying, ain't nothing but a party, y'all. And we spared no expense. He said, why don't we create a shirt? So the shirt I'm wearing is a last minute idea that my brother came up with. It said, Mr. Cornell Wourman, had a picture of him smiling. And on the back, it has his favorite saying. If you could see it, I hope it wasn't too big. Ain't nothing but a party, y'all. So as I close, and I thank you for this opportunity, and we continue to deal with issues that requires my leadership, caring for my mother as the primary guardian, but I can't do it alone. I include my brothers and sisters in the process because leadership is a willingness to seek advice, listen to others, and not be insecure that you can accept that your ideas and your opinions are not the best, that you don't have the monopoly on good ideas. The more you bring people into the process, the more you make them feel they're a part of the team, the more they will support you, the more you will accomplish if you guys work together. Someone will always lead, but you're not a leader if you don't have followers. Although my brothers and sisters look at me as the leader, we equally shared in sending our father off, and we equally share in caring for our mother right now. So I thank you. I look forward to the continue of this class, and I actually enjoyed this opportunity and look forward to doing it again. This is Carlton Wourman. You have a blessed day and enjoy your Veterans Day weekend.